Hey Metalheads! Today we have a double anniversary. Not only is it the 35th anniversary of Wacken Open Air, but it's also the birthday of one of the most iconic voices in metal. Alissa, so great to have you here. Happy birthday!
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I saw that you've already been all over the place yesterday. You took over the Instagram and suddenly you were on stage with Skyline.
Yeah, yesterday was pretty crazy. I think today's going to be crazy too. But yeah, I was all over the place yesterday. I've performed here at Wacken many times, but yesterday was probably the most fun just because I actually got to go and explore the wastelands and went on a ride with the Wastelanders and got pushed on stage with Skyline with no warning. Got to meet lots of cool people, do lots of really fun things. I was baking with Axel, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You are jungling 3 projects. You do music as Alissa, as with the solo project, Blue Medusa, and also co-spearlining Dragon Force. How do you manage delivering it in this quality that you do?
Yeah, so I think for a lot of artists, we have like a creative force in us that we need to get out, and it's fun to do it across multiple things. And so for like solo project wise, like I'm just me, you know, so everything I'm doing, I guess, is just, you know, something that I feel like is like fun for me to do or, you know, fulfilling artistically. And that's why I do all sorts of collaborations. And then Blue Medusa is my main passion and my main focus. That's where I'm putting all of my energy and all of my attention into like every detail. And it's really the band that I've just always wanted to have. And then getting to sing with Dragon Force, who are just amazing legends and super nice people, super great musicians, great songs. That's obviously an honor also, and I'm very happy to be doing that. But my main passion and like the bulk of my focus is on Blue Medusa.
When you write music, how do you decide if a melody or some vocals will be part of Blue Medusa or your solo project? Do you decide it beforehand and then write it, or is it the other way around?
Well, I mean, it's all very different stuff, you know? So like Blue Medusa sounds almost nothing like Dragon Force. So like, for example, between those two, there's really no comparison. If I'm writing something that sounds like Blue Medusa, it wouldn't really make sense in Dragon Force and vice versa. So, you know, I write according to what I'm planning on doing with it. So I know which project I'm in before I start writing, for sure.
So what goes first for you, the melody or the lyrics?
That's a question that I've gotten a lot, and I think my answer has changed over the years. So I love lyrics, and to me, lyrics are extremely important. And so I used to write lyrics and then just do whatever it took to fit the lyrics in the song, you know, even if it meant basically rapping to get the lyrics out. I was just doing whatever it took. Now I think I'll call it matured in the sense that I still value the lyrics, but I'm more capable of editing down the words if I need to make it fit a rhythm and a melody that suits the song. Because ultimately what hits the listener first is the melody or the rhythm, and then they hear the lyrics. And so I think that it's really important to honor the melody and the rhythm and then have the lyrics in there to tell the story. So now in my writing, usually what happens first is the melody and the rhythm. And then I start fitting in words that feel like they sound natural there. And then I go through and edit them to make sure that they're telling the story that I want to tell.
And then not only that, but you have 2 bands that you said are extremely different. Like you have the epic, fast-paced Dragon Force power metal anthems, and then very heavy modern metal style Blue Medusa. What's it about those 2 genres that you love, and how can you manage to make them both so well?
Yeah, I mean, so Blue Medusa is really like, it's me. Like that is the music I love. That is who I am. That's what I want to be doing. That's how I want to sound. It's what I want to say. And Dragon Force is like so high energy, and that's super important to me as a performer. I like to perform really high energy music. And energy could be the mood, the tempo, the pitch. It could be all sorts of different things. And so Dragon Force's energy on stage is so high that it's so much fun to perform with them. And actually, you know, almost by coincidence, that their songs are written really in a very comfortable range for me, like really in my Goldilocks zone. So it's a lot of fun to sing their songs. And I feel like I'm able to express a side of my voice that I've been wanting to express for a while. Like, for example, I'm a huge fan of musical theater. And so when I'm singing with Dragon Force, I almost feel like I'm like flexing my musical theater voice a little bit, because it's obviously, like you said, very epic, and it's very challenging vocally, just in the pace and getting the breathing. But it's something that I really want to improve at, and I want to, be able to practice. And now I have a reason to.
I think you're one of the artists that I've seen live the most times, not only with the bands you play in it, but also featuring, like with Ice Nine Kills, I saw you, and I was always mesmerized by the amount of stage dominance that you bring, because you're not 2 meters tall, but you feel like if you were a 2 meters tall beast. How can you balance this energy that you have with co-spearheading Dragon Force, which not only have a great vocalist, but also great guitarists that also take their place on the show?
Yeah, well, first off, thank you. I love being around people who are just as confident as I am, and who stand on stage and attract the spotlight just as much as I do, because I love being part of a really, really strong team. And that's why I put together Blue Medusa with the people that are in it, because Danny, Alissa, Alicia, and Delaney are all stars. And I feel honored to stand on stage next to people who are stars. And it's the same thing in Dragon Force. If I'm on stage next to Herman Lee, it's like, okay.
You better bring it.
Yeah, exactly. And so one of the things that I love about performing with Dragon Force too is that everybody's running around and jumping and headbanging, and it's just like this chaotic, super high energy, crazy party on stage. And so for me, that's actually what I love. Like, I prefer that. And same thing with Ice Nine Kills. It's so entertaining, it's so theatrical, and I feel like that's my home. Like, I like to be around people who are creative in many different ways. And so collaborating with these bands is a great way for me to just like express myself in that way.
And now you have your project, which is basically you, Blue Medusa, and you've been announced for Wacken next year. So what can the metalheads expect from Blue Medusa in 2027?
Yeah, we are so happy to be playing Wacken in 2027. We're super, super pumped, very honored, and we're going to bring an amazing show. We are planning to take out all the stops. We want it to be super high impact. We want people to experience Blue Medusa the way that they should, with, everything going exactly how we picture it, how we envision it. Every time we write a song together, I can like picture us on stage delivering that song. And that's what I want to turn into a reality at Wacken next year.
I think with your voice and the control that you have with so many different genres, you've been an inspiration for a lot of vocalists, but especially for female vocalists who look up to you. What would be your advice to young girls and young females who want to become female front women?
To become female-fronted women.
Double.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, and this goes for all musicians, remember your why. So remember why you like doing it, because at the end of the day, this is the music industry. And anytime you have the word industry attached to something, it means it's been ruined, pretty much. So you have to remember why you're doing it, because there's going to be a lot of things that make you not want to do it. There's going to be a lot of people that make you question yourself and doubt yourself. And so you really have to go into this with a steadfast confidence in knowing who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. And if you walk out there being 2 meters tall, even when you're not, then all that stuff can bounce off of you and you can keep going. Because the people that succeed in this industry are the ones who keep going, the ones who are resilient. There's a ton of bands with a ton of talent that give up after 2 years because it didn't happen fast enough, or they thought it would be different. And it's not easy. But if you stick to it and you really, really know, and you are laser focused on your goal, you can get there. You need patience, resilience, and confidence. So just keep that. Hang on to that. Because people will try to take it away from you. Don't let them. It's yours. You own it. You grow it. You harvest it. It's yours.
Wow. Now I'm hyped. Now I want to become a female and start a band. So metal, and this is the last question, it's in a interesting spot. It's never been this easy to release music. You can get a laptop, audio interface, and pump out an album, even release it yourself without a label. But then again, we have more and more clubs, festivals closing down because the industry the big venues, they are persevering and the smaller ones are disappearing. So what can young musicians, but also the metal fans do to, give metal a better future?
Yeah, I mean, the music industry in general is kind of in dire straits at the moment. I think that we're actually kind of lucky with metal in the sense that metal actually is surviving a little bit better than some other genres, I think. And I think that's because we've just been underground for decades now. So it's never been a huge thing, but it's a very dedicated and loyal fan base. And so I think that in that sense, we're lucky, and metalheads are just like this global cultural movement, you can walk down the street and be like, oh, there's a metalhead. We know each other. And they don't even need to be wearing a Gojira shirt or a Slipknot shirt or whatever. You can just look at someone and be like, I know that person's a metalhead, and you have this kind of wink at each other, you have this instant connection where you're like, we're good. And I think that that's pretty cool because I'm not sure if that exists in all other genres of music, but I think that what you said is true, and we have an oversaturation issue right now with music in general. There are laws floating around, and there are policies floating around to try to crack down on, for example, AI-generated music that's just infiltrating all the streaming platforms, which is just diluting the pool even more. But I think that, honestly, the way that music works and the way that it's going to continue to survive is the fact that humans crave a human experience. So at the end of the day, we're all lazy and we want to stay home and just stare at our phones. I get it. But after a while, that gets boring. And you want to go and be around other people. And you want to hear live music and feel the PA shaking your bones and, be hot and sweaty and meet people and have fun and make connections and travel and see a band live and hear them fuck up because they're actually playing it. And, that's what we crave at the end of the day. And I think that that's what's going to sustain the music industry. And I think that's why metal is actually going to survive and maybe even thrive. I think the pendulum is swinging away from digital and towards having this real tangible experience that people crave. And so work on your live show. And you don't need to play a huge venue. You can play in someone's living room, but work on your live show, connect. Someone in the audience is also in a band. Ask them where they're from. Go play in their city. Have them come play in your city. Maybe you meet another person. They're from somewhere else. Now you have 3 cities on a tour. Do that. Just build it out. Even if it's only on the weekends, whatever, build it out. Make your network. You'll meet people that are in the same genre as you, that are in the same age bracket as you, and just get it done. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just like I did yesterday with Skyline. Just go do it. Don't even worry about it. Don't think about it. Just do it.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for your words. And I just want to say, if you want to see the full passion of Alissa White Gluz, make sure to come next year to Wacken and see Blue Medusa live on the Wacken stage. So I'll see you there.